What's going on, good people? So I'm finna post this election night event, November 5th and 6th through the 6th, 24 hours. All right, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and post this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and post this tonight on my comments community tab section or your post section. That's where you're gonna see it. When I take little breaks, I play music and then step away for a minute. And let me go ahead and post it real quick. Let me pin it. All right. So hold on. I forgot to remove. I forgot to say something else. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Hold on. Election night. Oh, hold on, y'all. And then we can get started. Election night event, November 5th, 24 hours, and through the 6th. Registration required. Why did I do that? Hold on, y'all. I messed it up again. Hold on. Election. Y'all, I'm going to play some music while I fix this. Hold on. I'm playing a little bit of music while I play this. One more time. I'm back. Okay, so y'all, I have it pinned at the top. Registration is required all day, all 24-hour event. Now I ain't gonna sit here and say that during the election night event that I'm gonna be online all 24 hours, but I'm gonna do like a big chunk of time, and then I may step away for a minute, take a little nap, play music for like a couple hours, and then come back on again, and then get some, and then come back in again, and we do it again. And finish up, because I got a feeling the election night is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. So if you're not registered, please go ahead and register. I take all donations. Any donations y'all want to give, I'm willing to take those donations towards the event. I had to upgrade my my StreamYard so that I can start doing events like this. So all donations are welcome. Let me see. My daughter's upstairs watching something on TV and it's loud. So, have y'all been keeping up with what's going on? So actually, what's crazy is today I was walking around. I said, I want to do a live. I said, but the news been kind of quiet. I said, so I don't know if I got something to talk about. And I kept saying, it's like, I ain't really got nothing to talk about. And then lo and behold, it popped up on my phone. Israel did a missile strike on Iran. Now, y'all know how bad that can be, right? Everybody knows how bad that could be. That could be bad. That could lead to world war. That could actually lead to a war. Iran ain't weak. That's all I gotta say. So all the chat, welcome, 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 y'all, welcome. Thank y'all for coming coming to my channel. We're gonna talk about that tonight. Plus, we're still gonna keep up with what's going on with the election. Election is the election. Hold on. Oh, that was a sneeze cough. But they said that in the elections, Trump and Camilla. Yeah, the event is November 5th, but Camilla, they're tied just about. They're tied. So if we get up to this election and they end up being tied, and shalom, shalom, it's gonna be interesting. I'll say that much. So let me see. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Let me see. Where is my videos? Y'all, they loud in my house right now. So let me go ahead and do my little disclaimer. Kamala, that's her name. Her name Kamala. All right. Somebody asked, where would you like to donate for the event? You can actually go to my Cash App. My Cash App is down here. Sister E, let's talk. You can give to my Cash App. I don't really get my Zelle out. I don't know why I don't get my Zelle out because there'd be no fees, but thank you so much for whoever wants to donate. But there you go. My Sister E, let's talk. Is my Cash App. So I'll make sure and have it posted that night. So let me do the disclaimer first. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, new reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by a copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. So, with that being said, fair use. Let me do this real quick. Fair use. So I'm going to play the video. Okay, let me share my screen. This is a use permit, fair use. This is for educational and research purposes only. I'm playing this video. Israel launches retaliatory strike on military targets in Iran for education and research purposes only. Fair use.
Breaking news from the Middle East. Shifting our focus now to late breaking news from the Middle East. Israel is striking Iran tonight. It's in retaliation for Iran's attack earlier this month when Tehran launched 180 ballistic missiles at Israel. Nick Schifrin is following this breaking news. Nick, what are you hearing from your sources?
Jeff, tonight the Israeli Defense Forces have made a statement confirming that, yes, they are attacking Iran. And I'm just going to read part of that statement right now. In response to months of continuous attacks from the regime in Iran against the state of Israel, right now the Israel Defense Forces conducting precise strikes on military targets in Iran. The regime in Iran and its proxies in the region have been relentlessly attacking Israel since October the 7th on 7 fronts, including direct attacks from Iranian soil. Now, to keep that up for 1 second, I want to focus on one word: military targets in Iran. That has been the source of the debate, of the discussion, negotiations perhaps between the Israeli government and the U.S. government. Israeli officials told me when I was there.
Now, Now, the interesting thing is this, y'all. This is major. Iran has their own. Hold on a second, y'all loud. I have to scream upstairs, y'all. Yes, y'all are that loud. Can y'all hear my? Can y'all hear my child upstairs? Can y'all hear my children upstairs? Because Madison and her friends from school are upstairs watching TV. Can y'all hear them, or is it just me? Yes or no? Because they loud. I told them they can hear y'all. They loud. They real loud. Oh, y'all, I promise y'all, they are loud. Madison, Ruima said she can hear you loud and clear. They are. Medina said, "Where's my belt?" What is it, Fatam? Am I saying your name right? Fatam Warrior. Said, "Where's my belt?" That you see, y'all hear this? Man, you know that's that Memphis Mama hollering. You know that it's right. I'm trying to do a whole live, and y'all, can y'all believe that? So before we get into the thing that we're doing right now, I do need a belt. We have two stories now. Praise the Most High, the God that y'all blessed us to find a cheap apartment in Brooklyn. It actually has two stories. It has a basement and it has a upstairs. They really was putting it out there as one bedroom. So, but actually it's like a whole floor. So I'm actually in the basement, which is where, all of them kind of hang out. And there's like two little bedrooms upstairs. What's weird is it's two little bedrooms. So you got the little bedroom upstairs where she sleep, but this is where her and her friends come hang out downstairs. But we only have one TV in the house. And the TV is upstairs, saints. Pray for me. We got one TV. So the crazy thing is they want to watch TV, but my daughter has a projector that she had from when she was in college. When she was going to Howard, now she's going to school here in New York. But she got her projector and everything. She has a whole wall to be able to project her little movies. No, they don't. They really want to be upstairs, and they took the TV. So the crazy thing is, my office to where I'm finna go do lives, because my room, I got a nice, decent sized room where I can do like an office in my room, so I can start doing my lives. I'm going back to when we was in Virginia. I'm finna have my camera. I'm finna have my microphone, everything. Be prepared. That's what we're gonna be doing that night. I'm gonna have my mic, everything. We're going back to the Virginia days. So I'm getting all my stuff set up. Y'all, I'm sitting here trying to figure out, wait a minute, hold on. My children that come to that, my child and her friends, they have no volume control. We actually have a rooftop, but I'm not going up there. But yeah, they loud and they don't care either. So they don't like going out in New York, because it's high. Food is expensive. So they come and they eat out of, everybody eat out the refrigerator, and they be upstairs cooking all types of stuff. So they be loud. So the night of the event, just brace yourself. Y'all might hear a couple of times and be saying, "You're too loud." And she gonna be like, "I'm not that loud." So get back to the original scheduled programming, y'all. So with that being said, Iran is not one of those that they can just fight with. They have their own military strength and their own military power. But one thing I noticed in the news article that I read on today, U.S. says they're not getting in it. U.S. says you're on your own. People don't realize why people are afraid of Iran. They've just and now have the ability they just now have gotten the ability to create bombs. So build bombs if they ain't already started building them. So it's gonna be real interesting. So let me finish up.
during this Iranian attack that they wanted to have a very, very large response to reestablish deterrence, in their words. The U.S. wanted to prevent another round of ballistic missile strikes. Those ballistic missile strikes that we saw on October the 1st were the second round. So U.S. officials argued that in order to prevent a third round, Israel couldn't attack two things: nuclear sites or energy sites. And that apparently is what the U.S. has convinced Israel to do, to attack military sites, not anything else.
An Israeli response had been expected since the attack at the start of this month. What's been happening behind the scenes over the last 3 weeks?
It's been that discussion of what the targets are and why the U.S. is trying to limit, or at least restrain relatively, what Israel might target. That said, Jeff, military targets could be a lot. There are hundreds of military targets all over Iran. And so we don't know any specifics about this Israeli strike yet. And I will add that Israeli officials are worried that Iran will respond again to this. And they do warn me that if Iran responds to this one, then some of those limits might be removed.
Nick Schifrin, thanks to you. We appreciate it.
So with that being said, we finna play another one. So this is Al Jazeera. I like Al Jazeera. They're usually fairly good with report things. So I believe they're gonna respond, and they're gonna respond with such a wave that, yeah, this isn't gonna be pretty. They're not Iran, unlike some of these other smaller countries, Iran got their fire. So they ain't scared at all. Plus, they got the support of Russia too, as well, truth be told. So just like Israel is being backed by US, Iran is being backed by Russia. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. So here we go.
Spokesman Daniel Hagari has just spoken in the last few minutes. Let's listen to what he had to say.
In response to months of continuous attacks from the regime in Iran against the state of Israel, right now, the Israel Defense Forces is conducting precise strikes on military targets in Iran. The regime in Iran and its proxies in the region have been relentlessly attacking Israel since October 7th on 7 fronts, including direct attacks from Iranian soil. Like every other sovereign country in the world, the state of Israel has the right and the duty to respond. Our defensive and offensive capabilities are fully mobilized. We will do whatever necessary to defend the state of Israel and the people of Israel.
Well, that was from the Israeli military spokesman, Daniel Hagari. But let's go back to Rasul Sardar, our correspondent who's live for us in Tehran. Rasul, can you talk us through whether there's been any updates since we just last spoke? Obviously, this is a moving story, a very significant one, especially now that Israel has confirmed that it is carrying out those strikes on Iran.
Indeed, as of now, in the capital, we are not hearing any sounds of the explosions. However, shortly before, we have heard at least 3 explosions, most of them taking place in the western part of the capital. And then there are some reports that the explosions were heard in the city of Kashan and also in the city of Mashhad. So these cities, they're having significant, some nuclear facilities and also the military facilities as well. But what we understand so far, that there has not been any explosion in the nuclear facilities, oil and gas reserves. Rather, some of the military targets have came under the Israeli attack. But we do not know about the state of the casualties, whether some soldiers have been killed or they're injured or not. However, there have been the reports of the explosion from these 3 cities. Now we are in Tehran, and we have also heard at least.
Yeah, I don't know how this is going to play out. I don't know how this is going to play out. Well, we all know how this is going to play out. I don't know why I said that, but I'm not really talking on this one as much. I'm just trying to chime in here and there so I don't get a strike. But I'm gonna let them explain what's going on, and then we'll have deeper conversation. It's just gonna be interesting to see. Let me be quiet. Let me finish. Let me finish. My loud house. Hold on.
Is 3 explosions, but there are some reports that there were 3 more explosions in Tehran. So in total, we are talking about 6 explosions. However, here we are understanding from the Israeli spokesperson, the military spokesperson, that they have targeted the military facilities. They have targeted the military bases rather than going to the oil and nuclear gases or the nuclear facility, oil and gas facilities and the nuclear facilities. So that is telling us something, because we have heard of that again and again. Iranians were quite clear that their response is going to be according to the Israeli attack. So that means if Israel attacks to our military bases, we are going to target Israeli military bases. This was the adopted policy, tit for tat. And if Israel attacks the oil and gas reserves or the nuclear facilities, then our response also is going to be hitting Israeli oil and gas reserves and their nuclear facilities. But Americans have been putting a tremendous pressure on Israelis not to target these strategic facilities that could easily lead to an all-out, a full-scale war across the region. It seems that as of now, what we can see, that Israeli response to Iran's attack on October 1st is quite a measured one, well calculated one.
Ooh, I'm wondering how this year gonna end, y'all. I'm sitting here wondering, how is this year going to end? Because, hold on one second. That's why I tell people, I said, man, when things happen, it ain't just gonna be here. This is gonna be a worldwide thing. We can really see things happen all over the world. We're gonna see stuff happening in Iran. We're gonna see stuff happening in Israel. We're gonna see stuff happening in Europe. We're gonna see stuff happening in Australia. We're gonna see stuff happening in Africa. We're gonna see stuff happening in the US. We're gonna see stuff happening in South America. It's gonna be all hell gonna break loose. And I really believe it's not gonna be like, I think one day we're just gonna wake up and it's gonna go into left field. And that's what I'm thinking, because it's like, you know how a bunch of little things are just, the pressure is just, it's just a pressure cooker right now all over, and once that pressure cooker pop, game changer. And that's what it looks like. It's just going to be interesting. Keep going.
And it seems that it is limited with the military targets, not going beyond that, because Tehran itself is holding some of the nuclear facilities. And as of now, when we can see, we're just scanning, we haven't heard that kind of explosions. And the reports that we are receiving, the nuclear facilities are operating normally so far. But we have heard at least 3 explosions in the capital, and there are some other explosions, 3 explosions that are at this moment unconfirmed. As I said, it seems that Israelis have attacked the military targets, but we do not know what is the scale of that exactly at this moment, and whether now it was a one-hit operation and that is over, or whether the second or third, the coming waves are going to come or now. Now, we do not know whether Israelis have concluded their attacks or they have just initiated that. So in the coming hours, we are going to have a clear sense and picture of that. However, in Iran, Iranians are saying that their air defense systems across the country are on the highest alert. And they're saying that it's a multi-layer air defense system. So we are talking about the protection particularly being enhanced across and around these strategic facilities, the oil and gas reserves, the strategic depots that are preserved for the war times, and the nuclear facilities. So they have been protected by Russian S-300 and S-400s, then Khordad third systems, and also they are talking about the Iranian-made Bavar 373 air defense system, which are equivalent to the Russian-made S-300s. And on the top of that, Iranians are saying that several dozens and dozens of the aircrafts are now scanning the Iranian airspace. And now the Iranian army is at the highest level of the readiness. If the scale of the Israeli attacks is quite big and huge, then Iranians are saying that they are going to respond to these with the same magnitude.
Y'all, these folks, it's going to take the Most High to come back because these nations going to destroy each other. These nations are ready to set it off. And you know truly what's behind the scene. It is a form of takeover. We need resources. Ukraine has a lot of resources. That area over by Gaza and over in Iran, there are resources over there. Africa, there's resources. It's resources all the way, and that's all it is fighting for resources. Most High gonna have to come back because they're gonna destroy it themselves. They're going to utterly, and as the scripture says, he gonna have to, because they're gonna destroy everybody. They're gonna destroy everybody and themselves. Because it's just like there is no stopping with them. It's like I gotta keep going, I gotta keep being colonizers, because all of them are colonizers. Colonization 2.0. They didn't complete their colonization efforts in other areas. But what's crazy is the things that the areas that they have colonized now are fighting back. It's too much. It's way too much, and they don't know how not to be colonizers. They just don't know how not to. That's just in their DNA. It's just like, I gotta destroy and conquer. And it's like, no, you don't. Just chill and leave folk alone. But they don't know how to do that. That's why the Most High gonna have to come. Because they don't know how to stop. They have no stopping sense. By far, this is the most destructive nation that has ever come out of Babylon that I've ever seen. This nation, these leaders, unlike the others, because I look at the statue, Daniel's vision, the statue. Each nation has just been an individual empire. There's been Babylonian, there has Syrian, the Medes, all of those were individual empires. This is why the feet is just an amalgamation, a combination of a bunch of things, because it's going to be a bunch of nations, and it's called colonization. They're spreading their religion. It's the religion of violence. That's why I call it religious violence. They come from, even when you talk about the faith, when they finally got to the faith, they were even violent in that. They didn't know how not to be violent. It's the religion of violence. They've gone in all these nations and talking about they presenting the gospel, and that's all they did was present colonization wrapped up in the Bible. And they're still doing it. And they don't know how to stop. Most High gonna have to stop them. Fair use, fair use.
Breaking news and what appears to be a major escalation in the Middle East tonight. Iranian state TV is reporting there have been explosions on targets in Tehran. It comes just weeks after Iran launched a direct missile attack on Israel. This escalation comes amid growing concerns about a wider all-out war breaking in the region. I want to bring in our Pentagon correspondent, Courtney Kube. Courtney, what are you hearing from there?
Yeah, so this is something that we've been waiting for several weeks now, and this is an Israeli military response to the large-scale attack by Iran several weeks ago on Israel. Now, Iran on that night launched nearly 200 ballistic missiles towards Israel, several of them striking. Fortunately, the majority of them were able to be intercepted by the Israeli military with some help from the U.S. military. But since then, we have been hearing from U.S. and Israeli officials that a response was coming. Well, that seems to be what is now underway. The Israeli Defense Forces now confirming that they are conducting precision strikes against Iran. Now, in a statement from the IDF, they are saying this is not only in response to that attack several weeks ago by Iran, but this is in a response or retaliation for the dozens and dozens of attacks that they say they have been suffering from Iran and Iranian proxies since October 7th. Now, of course, we have now seen several cases where Israel and Iran have launched projectiles, missiles, drones, and other projectiles and weapons back and forth between one another. Back in April, we saw hundreds of projectiles fly from Iran towards Israel. Again, in that case, the vast majority were knocked down. Israel responding with several strikes up towards Iran's nuclear facilities. Now, that seemed to end the direct back and forth between Iran and Israel. And instead, in those months between April and now, we saw the majority of the attacks came through those proxy networks. So we're talking about Hezbollah from Iran, Hezbollah in Iraq and in Syria, and then, of course, the Houthi rebels in Yemen. But then in July, after a series of Israeli assassinations, the back and forth started again. And then, of course, when Israel assassinated Hassan Nasrallah, it all ticked up again. So the big question here is, Lester, what is Israel targeting tonight? Now, U.S. officials have told us that they expect the majority of the targeting to be against Iranian military sites. But of course, there is always the possibility that Israel could also go after some of Iran's energy facilities. So things like their oil and gas fields, the sorts of targets that would not necessarily be military related, but could have a direct impact on Iran's economy. It still stands to reason we have to see exactly what they're targeting tonight. But according to U.S. officials, who I will say we have been asking about this every single day since Iran fired off those ballistic missiles against Israel several weeks ago, we have been asking, and we keep hearing one consistent thing. The expectation is Israel will respond, they will retaliate, and they will go after Iranian military.
Let me move her out the way real quick. Y'all, again, it's going back into the concept of these people have no sense of chill. That's what I'm going to say. No chill whatsoever. They are going to utterly cause their own demise. Iran's weaponry is almost like I said. Let's look at Iran's weapon technology. Let's look at this. How powerful is Iran? I saw this video, and when I saw it, well, I haven't seen it. I wanted to watch it. I'm going to play it real quick. So it says, how powerful is Iran? Okay, so let's look at this. My daughter is watching TV. She like K-dramas. So that's what y'all hearing. Hold on.
Islamic Republic of Iran Armed Forces. Ground Forces. Main battle tank. Kardar.
Fair use.
T-72S. T-72 Rakash. Zulfikar MBT-1. Zulfikar MBT-3. .540 T-72 Z Sapphire 74. 100 Mobares. .75 plus T-62. 150 M60A 1 Samsam. Solomon 402. $168 M47/M48.
Attention retirees, if you're
This is the
willing to
part I
get your
wanna-
computer from 9 a.m. to
Now it's-
10:45 a.m. on most weekdays,
Hod. Segi 1. Segi 2. Seymour. Air Defense Artillery System.
Air Defense Artillery.
ZU 23-2. Samavat. Sai. T-100 Horus. Misbah 1.
Don't they have a lot of drones?
Matrice 300.
They got so. That's not gonna see.
ZSU 57-2. ZSU 23-4. Shilka.
Where am I? Right here. Look at how these drones.
Boeing CH-47 Chinook. Unmanned aerial vehicles.
Drone.
Karar. Sofre Mahi.
You don't see this.
Ababil. Arash. Mohajer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mohajer 6. Mohajer Das. Rad 85. Rat. Nazir.
Yeah, that look like a taco food. I'm sorry, y'all. Look at this.
Hod. Segi 1. Segi 2. Seymour. Yassir. Shahid 129. Shahid 136. MQ M107. Mirage 532.
Come on, step it up. Hold on. Come on.
is 300 PMU2. Bavar 373.
Nothing but Baptist.
Arman.
Got it.
Azaraksh. AD80 Majidi. Mehran. HQ2J. Shalom Share. Shaheen. Tabas. (9DEY). Talash. (9S75). RBS70.
Right there.
Raiders. SEPEHR. Alim. Falak.
So I don't know how true all this stuff is, but they ain't half stepping at all. But keep in mind, there's another thing that's going on right now. Let me switch it over to you. I want y'all to read this. Putin declares support to Iran ahead of Israel anticipated attack. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Putin said he finna help. He finna help. So hopefully, I'm gonna play it. Fair use for educational purposes only.
Наиболее актуальных международных тем, включая драматическое развитие событий на Ближнем Востоке, положение дел в Сирии и Закавказье.
You'll have to read the caption with him. So get your readers on. Put your readers on, because I'm finna put mine on. For those people who call them readers, I'm finna just go get my glasses. We'll have to read captions here, saints. Y'all need time to go get your readers? Go get your readers.
В целом, по Ближнему Востоке, положение международных тем, включая драматическое.
Let's continue today to discuss the most pressing international topic, including the dramatic development in the Middle East.
Драматическое развитие событий на Ближнем Востоке.
Okay, so the situation in Syria and the Trans-Caucasus as a whole.
Положение дел в Сирии и Закавказье. В целом, подчеркну, что подходы России и Ирана.
We emphasize that Russia and Iran approach to the global agenda are either close or fully conceived.
Глобальные повестки дня близки или полностью совпадают. ارتباط ما و شما یک ارتباط راهبردی است و این غیر قابل اجتناب. قطعا برای ما خیلی مفیده، همان گونه که برای کشور عزیز روسیه و همسایه عزیز ما مفیده. ما میتونیم یک تعامل سازنده هم در چارچوب بریکس که با پشتیبانی شما ما عضو دائم شدیم و در اوراسیا و شانگهای که و این تحریمی رو که آمریکا بر ما تحمیل کرده و بر شما بیشتر داره این روند رو ادامه میده و تمامیت خواهی که داره در دنیا ایجاد میکنه به هم بزنیم و قادر باشیم با همدیگه ارتباطات اقتصادی، سیاسی، فرهنگی، علمی و کارشناسی داشته باشیم و امیدوارم که به سرعت بتونیم این تفاهم نامه ها رو با هم امضا کنیم.
Главное, был подтвержден взаимный курс на всемирное укрепление наших связей. Они находятся на подъеме, носят подлинно дружественный, конструктивный характер. Скоро мы сможем закрепить достигнутые результаты новым большим межгосударственным договором о всеобъемлющем стратегическом партнерстве между Россией и Ираном. Продолжим сегодня обсуждение наиболее актуальных международных тем, включая драматическое развитие событий на Ближнем Востоке, положение дел в Сирии и Закавказье. В целом, подчеркну, что подходы России и Ирана к глобальной повестке дня близки или полностью совпадают. Ваша нынешняя поездка в Россию, первая в должности президента Исламской Республики Иран. И это имеет большое символическое значение. Иран стал полноправным членом БРИКС, и вы знаете, что мы активно поддерживали вашу заявку.
So everybody tired of the sanctions. So they said we got something called BRICS. We finna build our own economy and kick rocks, US, with your sanctions, because we gonna start. And literally that's all it is more so not just money transfer, but the transfer of natural resources amongst each other. That's the ruling class right there, the ones that can transport goods, because all a sanction does is not give you access to certain things. Supplies, minerals, natural resources. With them sanctions, they said, okay, we got one better for you. We're going to do what we want to do, and we're going to create our own economy. We're going to create our own trading policies. We're going to create our own intercontinental agreements amongst each other. We don't need y'all. And literally, that's what the problem is right now. It's a part of that, because U.S. is thirsty for resources, because you got to think about their union. They are resource dry right now. Israel don't really have his own land, but they are pretty much, that's the last ditch effort of keeping a hold to resources. Russia is at the brinks of taking Ukraine. Those resources are out. Europe don't have no resources. The U.S. ain't got no resources. They're all together, but they don't have anything. Where Putin right now got Africa, Iran, North Korea, China, Russia. They getting ready to build their own economy. And if they do it properly, think about it. It's not the money. It's the access to these resources. Money is a part of it. That's what I'm seeing. I'm not, I'm not that heavy in it, but that's what it looks like, that it's a land grab to say we want to have access to the resources. And what Russia has strategically done, and Putin has strategically done, is have meetings with these mineral-rich, natural resource-rich countries. And they're tired of the U.S. draining their land, mistreating their people, taking their goods. Russia says, I'm not going to take it. I'm going to teach y'all how to protect yourselves from them. And we're going to work together to keep them from coming at us. So Iran, if Israel come at you, you fully got our support. That's literally what he's saying right now. Putin is saying they're scared right now. Russia is doing what they did not want them to do. U.S. did not want Russia to do this. And right now, U.S. got their own issues going on, not to mention internal wars going on within the U.S. U.S. don't want to give up their empire. I think each empire has had a 200-year run. U.S. is getting to their end. Each empire is coming to their end, and this empire has an expiration date. U.S. does not want to fulfill that expiration date. Their expiration date is here. Now, if y'all notice, each empire, have y'all noticed this? And y'all tell me if I'm missing something. When you look at the statue of Daniel, I say this: the common denominator with that statue to me is each kingdom had Israel in captivity, even down to the feet. All of them had Israel in captivity. And guess what? The feet had Israel in captivity as well. But key to it is, as each empire crumbled, Israel was never destroyed as a people. They will move on. I hate to say it, was like they'll move out of that captivity, have a little bit of freedom, and go into the next captivity, and then have a little bit of freedom, and then go into the next captivity. So each captivity, Israel is the only nation that's been able to keep going, even though they were in captivity. Did y'all get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, that's why I'm like, no, he gonna be consistent. He never changes. And when he destroyed the feet, he's not gonna destroy them. He always goes, Most High always goes after the nations, not Israel. So I'm not really worried, because he's coming after the nations. Babylon fell, bam, Israel was still thriving. Assyria fell, bam, Israel was still thriving. Each nation had an expiration date, but Israel's still been able to sustain themselves. And it makes sense. That's why I'm not worried. That's why I'm like, man, I ain't going nowhere. I'm finna rock it out right here. If the Most High say get up out, I'm out. He gonna make a way of escape, and he gonna tell us to go where he wants us to go. And then when he does that, and it's him, I'm out. I'm leaving on his time, not my time. So while I'm in Goshen, I'm gonna make the best of my situation in Goshen. I ain't finna go nowhere. I ain't going into nowhere. Africa, Israel. I got people who want to go to Israel, just like those who want to go to Africa. I'm like, I'm not going nowhere. Staying right here until he says otherwise. When he says, come on out, and he makes a way of escape and get us up out of here, then I'm out. But until then, it's so much war going on that war is even bleeding in over in all the nations right now. But y'all, I'm telling y'all, this is finna be on the world stage. This is gonna be an event beyond all levels of, y'all yes and that. I ain't going nowhere. I'm not moving. I'm not going until the Most High says it's time to go, beloved. And I'm gonna be like, all right, Most High, I'm leaving with you, not with people. I'm leaving with you, and you gonna take us to a safe place. So I'm good. I'm tight here. But with that being said, it is going to be interesting. I will say that much. They're already, each war is, all the nations won. World War I, each nation has started building a relationship. Started building how can I say, building their own how can I say, what is that noise? Their own group, their own thank you, Nisi, for your $25 cash app. Thank you so much. May y'all bless you. Thank you. I just got through paying my credit card bill. Thank you. Y'all, I'm just playing. But yeah, this move is just, whoo, I say that much. The alliances. Yes, thank you. I couldn't get it out. They start building their own alliances, and that's what we're seeing right now. BRICS on one end, building their alliance. NATO is building their own. They have their own alliance. And that's all it's going to be, is BRICS against NATO. NATO is the European Union. The European nations are going to come for those other nations. Guess who's going to be standing there looking on both sides? Say, I ain't finna get in it. is us. Because every single time Babylon got into it, we didn't go to war. Assyria got into it. We didn't go to war. Rome, Greece, all of them, excuse me. They were all, we ain't getting it. We just kind of sat in the middle. It was like, okay, both sides. And that's what we gonna do now. We just gonna be sitting. I'm sorry, y'all. I kind of cough burped at the same time. But yeah, I'm like, key right there. Just sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. Yeah, I'm not in it. So, so with that being said, you got that. Hold on. They got the TV loud. I'm talking about loud, y'all. Real loud. Hey, cut the TV down! I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna go to my next one. Hold on. Okay, my children got the TV loud. Okay, so I mean, it is what it is. It's gonna be interesting to see how this stuff plays out. It's gonna be real interesting to see how this all plays out. I think they're still bombing Iran right now. Hold on. Y'all, am I? Did I scream at the top of my lungs? Hey, y'all, cut that down! Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. These children got this TV on loud. I'm talking about loud.
Not a one-off, but let's get a different take. Joining me now, former IDF spokesperson Jonathan Conricus and the chair of urban warfare studies at West Point, John Spencer. It's good to have you both. Mr. Conricus, pleasure as always. Do I have it right so far in terms of your reckoning of what Israel has done to retaliate and how?
Yeah, there's something odd with the color of the screen, but I'll
You look
continue. I
fine.
can assure the viewers that I'm okay. So what's happening now is that, as I think you said correctly, this is the first chapter. The first chapter in, I would say, a new book of the Middle East, whereby Israel, I think, is changing its strategy. And what we're seeing is the first embodiment of that change in strategy, whereby Israel is signaling to Iran that 25 years of Iranian aggression against Israel without real responses by Israel against Iran for that aggression, they have come to an end, and Israel is now beginning to enact a different strategy that will hold the Iranian regime accountable for their acts of aggression, whether direct ballistic missiles fired at Israel twice, almost 400 missiles in total, or indirect through its 7 proxy countries that they have around Israel. And I think that when there's a lot of information coming out relating to the specific targets. As far as I know, at this stage, we are not talking about neither nuclear nor oil, but I think that we are talking about military targets that have relevance to the regime.
And of course, many of those are in population centers by design. so that to strike them is to strike the general population, and of course, make it look like you're victimizing the people that the regime is actually setting up to be victimized and is victimizing itself through its oppressive actions. In terms of how this is being done, what is our understanding, Mr. West Point, about whether or not they're doing this through fighter jets, or do you think this is through long-range missiles that Israel has?
I would weigh more on the fighter jets with that, which you called it right with the refueling and things, but it's really hard to tell at this point. But two things I'll differ on you on. One, the precision of this, and the IDF said precise attack of military targets, and that this can't be viewed as escalation. I think that's the problematic language we're using after the Islamic regime in Iran, one, attacks Israel since October 7th with its proxies, but then directly attack Israel and there being very little consequences. After the last attack of the 300 cruise missiles and ballistic missiles, both Israel and the United States don't do it again. Why is defense or survival claimed to be escalation? When you're attacked, you can defend yourself. The United States and Israel said there would be severe consequences if the Islamic regime attacked again. They attacked again with one of the biggest ballistic missile attacks on Israel ever in history. And this seems to be a limited response, but I agree with Jonathan that it just might be the start of it.
Ooh.
But the behavior of the Islamic regime is what has to be changed. This isn't about escalation or tit for tat. This is about.
It's going to be the European Union against, because I don't even want to say in Islamic fight, because if you pull in China isn't an Islamic nation. You even pull in South Africa, they are not considered. It's European nations against non-European nations. That's what it looked like. And you see that they're again building the narrative as if woe is me, Israel. But Israel, we must not forget the Israelis were the ones that was bombing the hell out of people in Gaza, children and women. They were breaking all types of war rules and tactics to because they can't bomb certain places. They didn't care. And now everybody like Israel promised. Iran is like they're about their work though. Iran is definitely says I'm finna turn Israel every which way. Israelis, they get ready to turn them every which way but loose. They not playing, and I'm like, y'all playing with a major, and then not to mention they got another major hitter behind them by the name of Putin in Russia. I'm sitting here like, y'all, they finna turn them every which way but loose. I already see. I'm just y'all know when I go to bed tonight, I'm gonna go to bed with the news playing, like I always do. I don't know why the news lately is so soothing to me. I fall asleep with it on, wake up with it on. Yeah. It's about to go down. I don't know about the people in Dimona. I think they're still there. I don't know if they've evacuated. I think people are having a hard time getting out of Israel right now.
Changing the Islamic regime's behavior where it's not okay to attack another nation because you feel like it.
Right. I mean, look, I think the word escalation goes to Jonathan's point about Israel making a determination that it has to defend itself more actively and directly against.
Also, for all who are just joining, I forgot to tell y'all, if y'all want to join me for my big event on election night, 24-hour event watch party, where we're going to be watching the election, watching all hell break loose, everything. We're going to watch it all together behind a webinar. It's free. I just say if anybody want to give donations, they're welcome to give donations. But it's behind a webinar viewing site where we will not be flagged by YouTube. Because if all hell breaks loose, YouTube is finna lock all the way down because they're going to make sure that they be able to get the communication out that they want to get out. So So with that being said, if you've not registered, register now. I think it's pinned. Y'all, is it still pinned? Let me check and see if it's still pinned. You go and you register for the event. Hold on, let me see. Make sure it's still pinned. Hold on, y'all. And then we can continually watch this. I want everybody to be together, y'all, when we talking about this. And you ain't got to be there all day, you know, but it'll be 24 hours of an event. So if you've not signed up, the registration is pinned at the very top of the comments section. We will start, I think, at 5 o'clock, 6 p.m. Eastern. 6 o'clock on November 5th, 6 p.m. Eastern, we will start. And we will probably end start November 5th. We're going to end November 6th, depending on how everything goes. It might be peaceful and it may not be anything. But if it is going down, we all could be watching it together behind a wall where they not finna hit us up. So if you want to register, the link is pinned at the very top. When you get there, just give me, for those who are afraid to put their email address out there, I've had people to say that to me. Go and create like DuckDuckGo email address. You can create another email address and then just sign up that way. If you want to because some people are very protective of their identity and I respect it. Go create a dummy email address. It's good to have an email address like that anyway. Just go create one under like Pure Repentance Heart. The kingdom is at hand. Go create I'm just using you as an example. Go create an email address saying Pure Repentance at DuckDuckGo. You know how it is. Just go create one. It's up to 1,000 seats. I don't know if I'm gonna have 1,000. I'll be happy with whatever Most High gives me. But I advise you go register at the very top. It will be an all-day event. I'm gonna have certain guests to come up. I'm gonna get Gardis to come up. I'm gonna get Pastor Kelly. He said he would come up. We'll kind of talk about how did we get here. We kind of started building the conversation of how did we go into financial ruins. We'll go back and forth and look at the numbers. Even though some of y'all are not gonna participate and vote, for those in our community that will vote, don't y'all shame them. I'm gonna say this: don't shame them if they go vote. We can be watching the numbers together. But it's going to be an interesting night. So if you haven't registered, register. It's pinned at the very top of the comment section. I will post this on my YouTube page on the post section on both channels. The post tab where you can go and you can actually register. Have you ever seen the section where we leave messages and we leave, pictures and videos, and on the section that's kind of like the post section? Go there and you'll find it after this video, after this live. So go and register now. Continue on.
The Iranian regime. That's the point. It's not about, I think, exacerbating would be the word that you don't want to use, that this is Israel trying to make it worse. Jonathan Conricus, I think that this is almost an act of defense through desperation. I mean, what else are they going to do? Just sit there and keep letting the Iranian regime come at them any way they can?
Yeah, many Israelis would say that this is about 15 or 20 years late. And the two attacks by Iran late. Israelis have been suffering the indirect attacks of Iranian proxies for about 20 years. Hamas, Islamic Jihad, Hezbollah, Iranian proxies in Syria, and the Houthis in Yemen. And this has been going on for a very, very long time, killing many Israelis, wounding many Israelis, and really holding Israel hostage to a very hostile Iranian foreign policy.
Why they over there bombing the heck out of those people over in Gaza? Why are they playing the war with me card? I just can't understand that. Why are they playing that card? Oh.
Policy under this regime. I think that what we're seeing now is that beginning to change. And regarding precision, I agree here with what John said. I think that what Israel is doing is using manned platforms and delivering bombs with pilots controlling it. I would be very surprised if Israel were to choose to bring out the Jericho missiles that Israel has or any other advanced long-range precision.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your
Yeah, y'all. This is gonna be a very, very interesting time. These nations ain't giving at all. They're not giving up. They are ready. They really are. It really is, like I said, it's these nations that have had sanctions put on them, having to bow down to the U.S. regime. They're tired. And they've hit a point where they just like, we're not dependent on y'all no more. We can't do our thing. So guess what? We're just gonna create our own network and we gonna trade amongst each other. And it's gonna get more and more and more interesting as we watch this. Again, it's not really the Iranian. Well, Iran is a little concerning for them, not for us. It could. Oh man, I just ran across some. Y'all know I just ran across some. I'm finna play this. This is finna get interesting. So they said former CIA director, escalating conflict could signal warning. What is it? Waning U.S.'s influence in the Middle East. Weaning U.S. influence in the Middle East. So I'm gonna play this. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be interesting. Let me play this video. So I'm gonna play this. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, it's getting interesting. And I was like, man, it's been real quiet lately. I said it's been real quiet. As if Angie Love is out here. I said that to even Angie. I was like, as much as I want to go live, what am I gonna go live on? I said, ain't nothing really been going on. And boy, this afternoon, as I was walking Rio, I was getting my laundry. I said, man, I want to go live, but what am I gonna go live on? And turned around and looked at my phone. Wait a minute, somebody said, what does finna mean? Did he just ask me? Okay, but yeah, I found finna. You can't tell me you don't know what finna means. Did he ask me what does about to? Thank you. About to means finna. Finna means I'm about to go do something. And instead of saying I'm about to go do something, you say I'm finna go do something. That's the Southern thing right there. It's fixing to, yes. So I was about to say, I know you know what finna mean. You ain't that deep into California. It's some country people in California. I know some. Here we go.
Security and intelligence analyst John Brennan. John, your reaction to these Israeli strikes inside of Iran, were you expecting them in these coming days here?
I think we've been anticipating them for the past couple of weeks. And I do think that there's been a sigh of relief in the White House, at least according to the early reports, that it appears that Bibi Netanyahu did not select the high option as far as retaliation. And he did not decide to go after the energy facilities, oil refineries, as well as possible nuclear sites, and has just kept it limited to military targets. And in Iran and around Tehran, there are readily identifiable Iranian military targets, whether it be airfields or weapon depots or training facilities and so on. And so it sounds as though Israel was going after Iran's capability to continue to launch these missile strikes against Israel. As Courtney pointed out, the Iranians have had an opportunity over the past couple of weeks to prepare for these strikes. But at the same time, the Israelis have very good intelligence and very, very formidable capabilities to carry out these precise attacks. And they were carried out at night. And there's been references to barracks, Iranian military barracks, whether they be the Iranian regular army military or Iranian Revolutionary Guard, the IRGC. And so I think one of the big questions is how many casualties were a result of these strikes. Now, unlike Hamas and Hezbollah, that have a lot of their members inside of civilian apartment buildings and areas, these Iranian military facilities are not commingled with civilian populations the way Hamas and Hezbollah have. So therefore, I'm hoping that the number of civilian casualties is at a minimum, if not none at all. So again, by the White House statement, these were targeted strikes against Iranian military targets that the Israelis carried out, and we'll have to see how the Iranians are going to respond. First, they will have some type of public statements, but hopefully it's not going to lead to the Iranians deciding that they now, as a result of these strikes, have to respond somewhat in kind.
Well, we know that hope is not going to happen because they're going to respond. Iran is going to respond. He said, I hope that they don't. They really don't want this. Right now, the U.S. can't afford a war as much as they want a war. And as much as they kind of pushing this war. They want it to be a proxy war. They don't want to have to fight. They want to send others to fight. But it's going to be so bad that every nation is going to have to get in this fight. So, hey, everybody. Somebody said, hey, what's going on, Notorious Hebrew? I was wondering where you was. I hadn't seen you for a good little second. But yeah, they keep saying, you notice he said, I hope they don't respond. They really mean that. I really think they mean that. Somebody, you've been reach out to me an email? Yeah, I'm horrible with my email. Pray for me, saints. I'm horrible with that email. Did you email me? Just let me know how did you try to get in touch with me. But with that being said, that's a hope that you just you might as well give up on that hope because it's gonna happen. Email me again now, Lee, and I'll follow up. I'm sorry, I'm horrible with email. But yeah, y'all, I'm telling y'all, it's about to be ugly. It's about to be ugly. They keep saying, I hope. That hope is going to be real short in just a second. And honestly, I think Iran wanted them to respond so that they can respond.
And pick it up a little bit about the barracks, the possibility that barracks have been struck. I've been seeing unconfirmed reports, but the obvious target, or one of the most obvious targets, would have been the bases housing the Revolutionary Guard, right? So what would the Revolutionary Guard have done to prepare for a retaliation from Israel after the ballistic missile strikes in early October?
You can skip this video, but you can't skip the truth. Right now in North Gaza, children are going to bed hungry every.
Well, they could have dispersed some of their forces that usually would be in barracks, and so maybe they moved them out and told them to stay home and try to have as few people as possible in these barracks that, again, are easily targeted by the Israeli military. And I'm hoping that the Israelis were not just trying to cause as many casualties as possible. They can do a lot of damage by destroying the infrastructure of Iran's military, again, airfields, the weapon depots, taking away the stockpiles that the Iranians have. But I think the Iranians, probably had some limited advance warning that these strikes were going to happen in terms of their air defense systems were alerted. So they could have taken some time to move some of these military members out of harm's way. We'll just have to wait and see with the day's break tomorrow to see what type of damage was done, and again on the casualty front, and whether or not there were some senior officers that were targeted. I heard references to Iranian military officers. So we'll have to see again just how significant the damage was.
And right now, as we wait and see, in Tehran.
Fair use. This is for research and education purposes only. All right. Fair use. I'm going to keep saying that because they keep coming for me. But yeah, this is They don't. They really don't want that because Iran now, like I said, just mentioned, they have the support of Russia now. They're a part of BRICS now. They about that life. They really about that life. It's getting ready to pop off. And Iran just was waiting for it. I think they were waiting. They were waiting. Iran was waiting for Israel to respond. And now they're gonna have a justified reason to respond even more. So
And all around Iran, there are military leaders there that are discussing what a retaliation from them might look like, right? So given what they learned from the interceptions that happened during October 1st and that earlier missile strike, the ballistic missile strike, what do you think the options are that are on the table in Iran right now for retaliation in response to what we're seeing tonight?
Well, I think has been mentioned before, but I think Matt as well as Courtney, the Iranian options are increasingly limited because a number of their proxies have been defanged as a result of Israeli military strikes inside of Gaza, Lebanon, and Yemen, as well as inside of Iraq and now Syria as well. And the Iranians, I think, recognize that Israeli air defense systems are really, really tough to penetrate. As Courtney was mentioning, there's a real premium that the Israelis put on redundancy so that they have a lot of different capabilities to be able to intercept these rockets, missiles, and drones as they're coming in. And so I think the Iranians recognize that their ability to do damage inside of Israel proper is really quite limited. That's why the question of whether or not Iran is going to resort to some of its tactics that it's used in the past in terms of international terrorism. Hezbollah certainly has a terrorist capability, but I know that Israel is hardening some of their diplomatic facilities as well as taking the appropriate precautions. But again, in terms of Iran's military capabilities to lash out and damage the Israelis, it's limited at this point and probably decreasing as a result of Israel's continued the attrition that it is taking on Iranian military forces.
these people are oblivious, totally oblivious. They're trying to say, "Oh, Iran doesn't have the weaponry." Yeah, they got Russia, and I think they got the weaponry as well. So Iran is gonna give Israel a run for their money. A run for their money. All right, hold on.
Now that we're hearing that energy sites may not have been struck, that oil refinery depots, and that this might not have been targeting of infrastructure.
Yeah,
do you think that there's a possibility still that Iran may try to retaliate by
Now, U.S. gave them strict instructions. Bomb them. Don't bomb the oil. Don't bomb the oil facilities. Don't bomb. No. Come on now.
disrupting supply chains that go into Israel?
Please.
Possibility, but again, I think we have to wait to find out exactly how much damage was done. And the more damage done, I think the more pressure there's going to be on the Iranian leadership. There is a new Iranian president. He is known as a bit of a reformer, but he doesn't basically make the decisions as far as the military posture to take. the Supreme Leader Khamenei, as well as with the senior military leadership. I think they're the ones that are going to determine whether or not there is a possible effective means that Iran can respond or retaliate. But I don't think at this point Iran really wants to get into an escalatory spiral with Israel, which could in fact bring in the United States, because Iran will lose in that scenario. So therefore, I think they're going to see what they can do without sparking some type of regional conflagration that will damage them certainly more than others. But yes, it's one of the things that they could do. In the past, they have put mines in the Persian Gulf and even in the Red Sea in years past to try to interrupt international shipping as a way to signal that they do have the capability themselves. But again, I think that they're probably scratching their heads at this point to decide how they're going to respond. Maybe they're going to do it again in an asymmetric way because they know that their ability to get through Israeli air defenses has proven to be quite hapless in the past.
If they do continue to escalate, but they escalate through their proxies, how do you see that impacting, I hate to say it, but the election is right around the corner here in the United States. How do you see it impacting politics here at home?
Well, again, I think a lot depends on how escalatory this becomes. I know the Biden administration certainly has been doing everything possible to try to bring the bloodshed and the fighting to a close. And I think they would like to be able to get back to the idea of a ceasefire in Gaza, as well as a ceasefire even in Lebanon, and to get the hostages home. But if this continues to escalate, it's difficult for me to see how there's going to be some type of ceasefire either in the Gaza front or in Lebanon. So I do worry that a continued escalation here is just going to, I think, be used as a way to show that U.S. influence in the region to be able to stop this is not as great as maybe it once was.
John Brennan, we always appreciate your analysis. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top.
Stay tuned for what's going to transpire this weekend. Let me conserve my energy, y'all, and tell y'all it's about to go down. It might pop off this weekend for all we know. Just know when it pops off, that little light called Sister E is going to make her way to her computer and talk about what's going to happen. Because we don't know if it's going to happen in the morning, because right now it's daytime over there. It may happen when we wake up in the morning. We don't know. But if I'm near my laptop, understand that I will be going live. But understand Iran is going to respond. And the world stage is gonna be watching, especially Israel. Israel gonna be in front of TV with popcorn. They just not. They don't care. But with that being said, y'all, I have enjoyed the conversation. We've been out here for an hour and 30 minutes. Oh, y'all, how I'm gonna make it on the 5th? I'm gonna be sleeping all that day until it's time for me to go live. We're gonna make it through it together. So somebody said I registered for fight night. If you ain't registered, you better register. I see 231 people in here. I should see more people registering. Come on and register for the event. November 5th through the 6th. We're gonna be talking about fight night. I can be able to just sometimes just play the video of the election, and I don't have to get hit by YouTube saying you're not supposed to do that. So we're going to be behind the curtain watching it live, all of us. So if you're not registered, I advise you to do so. Get those likes up, subscribes up, get everything up, go sign up. I pinned it. I'm gonna go put it in the on my post section. So let me go ahead and do this now. And while I got y'all, my folks really not just talking, honey. Let me go ahead and register and show y'all where it is. Hold on, I'm talking to y'all while I'm doing it. Pastor Kelly getting ready to go live now, y'all. I'm getting ready to go over there as well. So let me knock this little piece out right here and let y'all see where I am posting this. I'm gonna share my little screen. Go. Okay, so I'm gonna share, and then we going over. Y'all go over to my brother's section. Y'all see my page? This is my little page right here. Y'all see me? Go here to the post section. They are loud. Y'all see, I'm posting it right here. Register. Hold on. Let me see. Register on StreamYard. So folks will be like, it's StreamYard on with the link below. Register on the StreamYard link below. Register on StreamYard. I think I'm saying it right. Link below. Register on StreamYard. Y'all know I'm typing fast, so y'all can see where it is for the election night watch party on Eastern ending. All right, let's post it. Real hush. So y'all go ahead. I don't know if you can call in. I see how I can do a call in, but right now it's just a StreamYard link. Have I read Jacoba's book? I haven't read any book yet. I haven't read Jacoba's book. So tell Pastor Kelly to unblock me. I tell Pastor Kelly to unblock you. I text him now, Rome. I'll text him now and say unblock Rome. You gotta be nice though. I'm gonna text him and tell him to unblock you. But it's gonna be on StreamYard. So if you have not registered, go register. All right, y'all. I'm getting ready to go. Y'all go and check out Pastor Kelly. I'm gonna tell Rome, I'm gonna tell Pastor Kelly to unblock you, and then we'll go from there. Family, y'all have a good one. And I will see y'all. In fact, let me text him now. I just sent him a text message. Rome, I just sent him a text message for him to unblock you. All right, y'all. I see y'all over on the other side. I'm getting ready to go and play it while I get ready for bed because I'm getting sleepy. Thank y'all so much for y'all support. Y'all have an amazing evening, an amazing Shabbat. Get you some rest. Enjoy your time with the Most High on tomorrow because I'm definitely going to be in the bed until I can't sleep no more. Until it's time for me to wake up. I'm going to be tired of sleeping when I wake up. So God bless y'all. Y'all bless y'all. Y'all have a good one. Good night. Thank you again for the support and register again for the upcoming event all day long. Have a good one. Love y'all.